Welcome in, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm joined by Michael Hepner, and we're going to break down if the Kansas City Chiefs are the most underrated team in the 2020 NFL playoffs. Chiefs Kingdom, we have a very special video topic for today. Are the Kansas City Chiefs the most underrated team going into the NFL playoffs? Because Chiefs Kingdom, this question is much more complicated than it seems, because right now, the Chiefs are going into the playoffs on a 6-game winning streak, which is great news, but it seems like those 6 wins don't mean anything to anybody in the national media, because the Chiefs are one of the most overlooked teams in the NFL. But that leads it to this question: are the Chiefs the most underrated team in the playoffs when there's teams like the Titans and the Bills and the Texans and the Packers? So, Michael, what do you think? Do you think the Chiefs are underrated going into the playoffs as a 2 seed?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it depends who you're asking and what you're looking at. I mean, among Chiefs fans, I think they are way overrated. But among, the media and whatnot, I don't think that they've kind of knocked them out or not noticed them. I just think they haven't given them the attention that you think a team of their caliber would receive. If the Patriots were playing like they were, everyone would be talking about the Patriots.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just how it is. But I think a part of it, too, has to do with the Chiefs as a franchise. They're not known for winning playoff games.
But that's the thing. Mahomes. I mean, should they even be compared to the Chiefs teams of old? Because this is a completely different, I guess that's a new decade, but it's a new quarterback, a new team, a defense that has been revitalized. So I don't think that it's fair to compare this Chiefs team, a team that looks good on both sides of the ball, to teams that have really only been one-sided. Because, a lot of Chiefs teams in the early 2000s and in the 90s were very either offensive-oriented or defensive-oriented. They could not do both things well, and that's the big difference. This Chiefs team, as of right now, are playing great on the defensive side of the ball, and this offense is great as usual.
Well, I think part of it, too, though, is in the first, 5-6 weeks of the season, that's kind of when people, or teams, I should say, create an identity, and then that's how they are looked upon the entire season by everybody, whether it's fans, media, whatever. So, the Chiefs, for example, were known to have a bad defense. No one really expected otherwise. If you did, I would say you need to go to a mental health professional. There's no way to argue that the defense at all was good last year.
The defense was really bad last year, and in the beginning of this year, they weren't great either.
Well, they've had their moments, and I'd even argue that they're not that great now compared to what they could be. But obviously, they've improved, and I'm sure there's no way they didn't hear the noise.
I'm sure they have.
And media,
and Tyrann Mathieu actually was going around to Chiefs players in the locker room, and he was kind of just play lockdown defense. Don't listen to the haters, and don't listen to the analysts that are always trying to put us down. And so far it's worked, because that Chiefs secondary has been a huge bright spot. But, Michael, does that make them the most underrated team in the playoffs? Because I'm not too sure. I think that right now I'm leaning more towards the Titans, but the Chiefs are a very, very, very close second.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd even say that the Bills might be underrated. The Bills aren't even, let's be honest, there's no way, I don't think the Bills could pull off only against the Chiefs. But in terms of, again, it depends who you ask. Because you go ask a coach, you ask Belichick, are the Chiefs underrated? And he's going to say, no, they're a good team. And he's going to treat them as if, it's the Patriots from 2 years ago, because the Chiefs are a good team, and everybody in the league knows that. It's not like the Chiefs, people think the Chiefs are like the Browns who couldn't win a game several years ago. Everybody knows that they're a threat. Everybody knows they're the Legion of Zoom, so they're not, underrated.
That's a good point. They're not underrated. They just don't get the proper attention in the media. I think that's much better, a much better way of basically telling that, because the Titans, as of right now, they're the hottest team. Nobody really expects them to win, and I think that they could beat the Patriots. They could beat the Ravens. They could even beat the Chiefs. They're just playing really good football right now. So, it's between either the Titans, the Bills. I'd even say that the Packers are, because I mean I know we made
Packers, I
a
think, maybe.
prediction video, and you kind of said that you said that the Packers aren't really even considered a playoff team in your mind, which I know could have been a little bit of a fabrication, but I still
Yeah.
think that they don't get the proper attention, but I don't think that they do enough things well. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to the Chiefs are not an underrated team. They're just kind of like just the team that is forgot about, and they could pull off a big win off of any team in the NFL because they are so underlooked.
But I would say that, like, from what it sounds like you're going off of, and everybody else who would kind of have this come to mind, you're looking at it from a media perspective and what the media is saying, which, I mean, they're not the ones on the field. They're not the ones making the calls. They're not the ones making the plays. I mean, that comes down to the players. And if the players think that a team is bad, obviously that's going to have an effect. But if the media is not giving someone the attention, that doesn't mean that other teams in the league aren't looking at the Chiefs, aren't watching the tape, not preparing for that game. It just means that the media doesn't, because again, you have to look. The media is a business. It's not about reporting anymore.
True.
It's more about like what gets views. Like, so Tom Brady traded to the Bills for 4 first-round draft picks. Like, that was a huge thing, and I'm pretty sure like everybody turned their TVs on and was like, "Oh no, that was a prank." I don't
Yeah,
really
I mean
remember
I don't
how that
know.
all went down, but I think it was like 2 years ago someone did that. But it
But
was
here's the
all
thing:
over the news, and that sells.
the players will look into the media very thoroughly, because I guarantee you that the Patriots were on their couch watching these analysts talk about how they would destroy the Dolphins and it wouldn't even be a close game. And guess what? The Dolphins went into Foxborough. Fitzmagic did his thing and they won. So I think that listening to the media can make a team feel in either way, either overrated or underrated. I think that right now the Chiefs as a team believe that they are the underdogs, and I think that they are, because I think that everyone would pick the any other team besides the Chiefs to win in the playoffs, which is kind of unfair, but I'm just waiting for
I
this.
don't know about that.
I
I'd
don't know.
say
I think that
Super
people
Bowl,
think that
yes.
anyone could beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, which isn't
I
right.
don't think that.
Well, no, you
I
don't, but everybody's saying that, and that
I kind of disagree that everyone was saying that, because okay, let's look at it this way. It's like, I don't remember what it was. It was ESPN or something, and it was a round table of people talking about playoff predictions, not just Chiefs or Patriots or whatever, but just overall. And there was one guy who literally thought the Patriots were going to go all the way, and everybody at the table was like, "How many games do you need to see before you realize the Patriots are not going to be Super Bowl champs
it was
this year?"
probably Coach Mangini. That guy is so swayed towards the Patriots.
Well, yeah, but like some of them are in this denial stage of the Patriots are losing. Like, this isn't characteristics. They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. And it's like they haven't. They've had 17 weeks to figure
They
it out.
haven't, and they won't.
Yeah, so it's just obviously there's people like that, but there's no way you're going to say that the Patriots, a team that hasn't figured it out and probably won't figure it out this year, with implications of Tom Brady not being on the team or Belichick not being with the team anymore. I mean, no one would pick, I think, the Patriots going into Kansas City and winning.
I don't know, dude.
It's just highly unlikely. And I mean, no one. I don't think the Chiefs are underrated to the point where people don't think they're going to win. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. This defense is not the defense of last year. We're not going to have a stupid mistake like D4 jumping off sides late in the game, and situations like that, because our defense hasn't done that the last few weeks. I mean, we're going into the off season strong, and everybody knows that.
True. And in the playoffs, it's all about who's hot and who's not. The Patriots are not hot, but the Titans are. So I think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the Chiefs are overlooked, because I believe that they could beat anyone on any given Sunday because they have all the talent in the world. So right now, I like that the Chiefs are overlooked by everybody, because it makes this playoffs, and if the Chiefs can win it, so much sweeter. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys like these videos and want to support me, go click the link in the description and go support me on my Patreon. I would more than appreciate it. Thank you to Michael Hebner for joining me in this episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the KC Sports Report by Michael Darcy.